Hello everyone, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button. This is Slow Stitch September and this is video 2, and we are starting to cut out our base and create our bag. So if you remember from the introduction video, I said that throughout September we are going to recreate this wonderful yo-yo bag with all the little stitches. And if you're new to slow stitching, you're going to learn some stitches as we go. You'll learn about fabric collaging. You'll just hopefully have a blast, and at the end of it have something that you can enjoy, make, gift, because I think that you'll be able to make gift bags, I think, using this. Now I have a confession to make. I did already make this video, but my head was in the shot, which is really unusual because I don't normally shoot very above, so I've made it. So we're going to make it again. And there's also a little sneak peek of Wednesday's video with some stitching. So let's do it. You're going to need 2 pieces of material, but you only need 1 for now. So you need 2 circles. The first circle is what we're going to build our bag with. The second circle is what we're going to line the bag with, if we go back to the original. And we're going to use the same material actually, which is an old bed sheet. We're going to line it to sort of hide all our messy stitching and just finish it off, really. Make it all finished. So I'm only going to cut out and do 1 today, just for sake of simplicity, and because I'm now making another bag, because I messed up the first video, we'll just make this first bit. Absolutely fine. So I've got a plate that's not helpfully very, very, very circular, but it's the right kind of size for what we need to do today. But I'm going to go around it anyway and just give me the idea of the circle shape, and then I'm going to cut it out. So there's that plate. I do have some round plates up here, like dinner plates, but there's all kinds of things on top of them. So I thought I wouldn't. I'm going to cut that out. I was going to tear the beautiful little blue bird. Oh, well, I might have to have that on a bag. We might have to have that on the bag. So I'm just going to cut round. It doesn't matter if the green bit, it's all going to get covered up. I've just done it in this colour so that you can see it. I would generally do it in pencil, actually. I don't have any fancy sort of disappearing ink pens. A pencil would be just as good. But so that you can see it, I've used that green pen. So, are you new to slow stitching? Have you never picked your needle up before, or have you just sewed the odd button on or hemmed the odd pair of trousers for school uniform if you're British? That certainly is a thing, otherwise it costs a fortune if you have to keep buying new trousers. I didn't really have that problem. My friend's son, she had that problem because he grew like a weed. But with my daughter, she was in the same school blazer all of her school career. It was falling apart by the end of the is it year 11 when they do their GCSEs? And I was like, oh, I'm not buying a new blazer, because they were like £80 for 6 months. So we patched it up and it was okay. So yeah. So now we've got our circle. I'm going to need some pins, and what we're going to do is just make our channel for the drawstring. So if we remember our example bag, we've got a channel and a drawstring, so we're just going to make that. Pin it around. You want like a decent length for your drawstring to go. It's not going to go flat, so there's be some kind of like little pleats in there. But I don't know. We will just pin it up. In fact, so you don't get bored watching me pin this up, I'm going to pin 3 in, then I'm going to pause it, pin it up, put you back on the camera. because I don't anticipate some of these videos will be a bit longer when we're talking about nice things like building a fabric collage and stuff like that. But like, how interesting or not interesting is just watching me pin pins all around. So there we go. I will be back shortly. Okay, I've pinned it, and now we are going to do a stitch all around here. We're going to start at this point, we're going to end about here, then we're going to sort of make our opening for our sort of thread to go through. There we go. So this is going to be another simple stitch. We are going to do a running back stitch. I'm going to put a knot in. So you will get to see a running back stitch is a running stitch with the odd back stitch just thrown in. Let me move some things to one side. I'm going to start at this opening, pop our knot underneath. Start with a bit of a back stitch just to anchor it on. We're just going to whiz round. So a running back stitch is a few runs, however 2 or 3, 4 or 5. Doesn't have to, you could load your needle up and then put a back stitch in really. And you can make this as neat or not worry about it. It's up to you, it's how you stitch. Some people are very neat and precise stitchers. And there's times when I can be neat and precise. But we are just going to do what happens. I didn't even put my back stitch in there. I'll put a back stitch in this one. And all the back stitch is going to do is just sort of anchor it in place. That's all it's going to do. So we go just back on ourselves. Pin out. I need to get a safety pin as well, I think. But I will do the pause thing again, because I think that that's better than you sort of sitting and watching me do this for the 5 minutes or so that it'll take. It won't take very long, but you know, it's a bit like watching paint dry. I don't know, let me know in the comments, what do you feel? I'm going to go carry on stitching, finish around the edge. I'll join back when we get to a point where we probably will be like that, up to that point, and I will join back, and then we'll make the little hole. Yeah, we'll see how things go. See you in a little while. Okay, so I've sewn all the way around in my running back stitch, and it looks like that. It's not very neat, it's not my neatest work, but actually that's not that important. At this stage anyway, it's not important. So I'm just putting a back stitch in there to sort of seal it, and then we're going to cut down here and use this triangle to actually make like a seam or a hem for the hole we're going to create. So we're just going to cut there, and then that bit will fold in there. Finger press it down. That bit is a little bit fiddly, particularly if you're doing a small one. That bit will fall down there. And we're going to stitch or secure this in with some stitches. So we'll start here. I'm just going to do a whip stitch. Now, be careful not to sew your opening closed. First one will be sort of through all the layers of fabric, just to secure it in. do that a couple of times. And then after that, we're just going to do a whip stitch. So we're going to place our needle underneath and just whip it round. It doesn't have to, you know, it's not like making a buttonhole, so you're not going to completely cover all the fabric. You could do like a buttonhole stitch where you sort of wrap your needle around. It's almost like a blanket stitch, but the blanket's on this side rather than on that side. We're not going to do that. That's like complicatedness. I don't want complicatedness, I just want simple. This whole thing about Slow Stitch September for me is just to do something that's really simple. Not even practical, because I don't think Slow Stitch, it's not really practical. It's all about enjoying yourself. It's true hobby. Although I do make practical things with my slow stitching, but that's because I choose to, because that's what's relaxing. But here we go. Just whip down, and then we're going to put our drawstring in and make a large yo-yo. Now, I've made yo-yos, small yo-yos on my channel, kind of quite recently, I think within the past month. I've made them because there's something that I do to just build up my supplies, because I craft sustainably, so that means that I create as many supplies as I can, and I try to buy my resources second hand or from, you know, a sustainable source. So that's why I like to do my charity shop hunting and antiquing and stuff like that, just to make sure it already exists. In fact, we are going to go to our antiques fair after I film this video, actually. It's huge, it's got thousands of stalls. We're going to be there all day. It's going to be good. Just going to finish it off by adding a couple of knots. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the example bag again so that you'll understand where it fits. Threads. Where is my example bag? What have I done with it? Put it over here out of the way. So it kind of fits here, and then we will sew the lining on, and as we sew the lining on we will make a little lid, and that is so, you can imagine, because I've said this I think in the first video, you could almost make a backpack out of it, because like this is the lid of the backpack that could be secured, and then that's the bag. So it works like that. So now we need to put some sort of cordage in. So in the one that is the Slow Stitch September one that I've already done, but remember I mucked up this video, I got this lovely sort of furniture cord from a charity shop, and I don't quite have enough to go around, and I think I want to use it for something else anyway. So I was thinking, what can I use? Because I want you to be able to go and look at the resources you already have in your house and think, I can use that, I can use this. Now I did say when I was talking about what you needed in the introduction video, that you can use many things. You could use string, you could use t-shirt, or kind of like torn up sort of denim. So I'll give you an example if I can free it from all my strings. So you know, like some torn denim. This is a slow stitch scroll that I've made out of a twig out of the back garden, and the tie is the denim. You could do that. You could do that with a t-shirt. I'm just going to, for this morning, I reached into my stash and I found this kind of cotton yarn. Now I wouldn't use, I'm going to have to take it apart because I cannot find the end. Where is the end? The end in here? I can never find the ends on these things. It doesn't matter because I'm not actually going to use it for crocheting or anything. Oh, there it is. There's the end. I'm going to just take a length of this. What was I saying? So yeah, I wouldn't use like a wool yarn that would pill, because eventually it would wear through. But this is cotton. It's basically cotton string. A kind of 100% cotton, strong, holds its shape, and soft needle. I don't know what that means because I don't do crocheting or knitting. I'm sure my mother could tell me, but I don't know. So I just know it's a pretty colour and it's going to be strong, and that's all we need. That's good enough. We need now some way of attaching it onto this safety pin, because this is the easiest way to get it through this channel. I think I'm just going to tie a knot. Tie a knot through. My brain's not braining today. I was just saying to my husband, because he's just woken up, but I've been awake since 4:30. I don't know why, I just was. So I've tied on my string. It's now, I don't know what time it is, I think it's about 8 o'clock in the morning now. It might be 7:30 actually, I don't know. I know I've been up for a while, and I fed the cat, and I reviewed yesterday's video. I thought, oh, my head is in the way, that's not going to look very good, so that's why we're doing this, we're remaking it. So here we go. We just push the safety pin through. I have like a pot of safety pins. There's actually some things that need to go into a different jar because I have a curtain ring, brass curtain ring jar, but I kind of store my stuff in jars. I have them 2 shelves on my landing, and then I've got like a cabinet of sewing curiosities in my bedroom. Yeah, that my husband found me. I put up with the airsoft guns and all kinds of stuff. My dining room is currently, looks like an armoury, as they're being taken apart and fitted out for an airsoft game. So I put up with that, and he puts up with my sewing. Okay, so it's through. So now I want to make sure we've got enough on each side. It's all evened out. There we go, and then we can just put another knot here. And then I think I'll just tie a couple of knots here. I might decide to do something else with them further on if I do anything else with this one, because this is an extra one. It might just go into the UFO box. That's it. Very, very simple first stage. Anybody can do this. So if this is your first time slow stitching, I think you would be able to make something, and then you can see it, that it has a shape. Make something reasonably quickly. Because even though it's a slow craft, and some of my slow crafts, I am working on them for years and years and years. I'll put it down and I'll pick it back up, and I just, sometimes we need to sort of have something that, a quick win. that we see something appear as we're making it. So I like those kind of smallish projects. Like last Sunday's video was making these, and they don't take very long. They take like half an hour, if that, to make, really. But it is still a very slow project. You still get the feeling of that sort of slow stitch, but you make something, and it doesn't take very long. So there's other things like this, which is a lot more precise and a lot tidier, and is a piece of cloth that was given to me by my grandmother-in-law in South Africa. She's no longer with us. She was destashing, and then I've kind of stitched it over a couple of decades, really. Well, 12 years did we work out? So it's not a couple of decades, it's a decade and a bit. Just picking it up, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down. So slow stitch can be many things. Things can be fast without being rushed. I think that's what I'm saying. So here we are, the first stage. So next time we'll be back with the big one. And I will be showing you how I've done that, because we'll be starting to decorate it and do decorative stitches. And the first type of decorative stitch is about putting words, or the beginning about putting words, because we'll be putting more than one word on. I'm planning it out, and I've got all other bits and pieces that I could show you, but I'm not going to, because I'm not going to spoil it for the next time. So please remember to go over to Carole's channel, because she will be watching this video, and the first video that I did for Sunday, then this is the video for Wednesday, and then she'll be reacting and releasing her own video on Saturday. That'll be the project, how far she's got to it, and then we will carry on, so that there'll be a Sunday video and a Wednesday video from me, and a Saturday video from Carole, so that you get to see somebody else doing it in real time, really. So there we go. Little heaps of loveliness. I will talk to you soon. I hope you've enjoyed it. I am really looking forward to this month. If you're new, subscribe please. Hit the like, do the comment thing, all the little YouTubey things that help my little channel grow. I'm really enjoying spending time with you all. Alright then, I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.